Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel, and if this is your first time here, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button because it lets me know that you like the type of content that we're making. This is an East Coast Canadian themed city, and in the last episode we built the port of the city. Pretty big deal. The port is looking pretty nice. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Let me know down in the comments below if you have any suggestions for anything I should add to the port. But I have done a few little changes off camera as I was just testing some things out. And we're going to start by adding in some things here and filling it in. Because there's lots of open space still. I was debating whether or not I was going to get the ship path mod. The ship path right now comes this way. So this port doesn't actually work because it's kind of clipping with the path line, but this one works and this one works, so we're just going to turn this one off and we're just going to keep it there for the look. So we're going to see that symbol there, but we're not going to have to pay for it, and that's a pretty big deal. So what have I changed? I moved this road right up against the highway here, save some space. Thought it was a good idea. And I'm not sure if I kind of forget what I did last episode, whether or not I added this asymmetrical road to it, but since this is the main road that goes to this area altogether, I figured this was probably the best way to do this. So we've added fire and police station over here as well, and there is a walking connection here, or this should be at least. So theoretically, people could get to work at the toll booth. Not sure if people actually work there or not. Yeah, it looks like it. But that's not good that it has a garbage issue, because there's a garbage thing right here. Well, that'll come with time. Maybe let's just look at the budget really quickly, and I'm gonna boost the garbage just a bit. All right. Hopefully that fixes itself soon. But I wanted to start it this way, and I was thinking what could kind of go out in a port area. And I was thinking it could have, there we go, a post sorting facility. It could go right here, because I assumed that some mail would get sent to the port, and it can get sorted right here. And I'm also going to add the post office for the people who work there. This is their office. We're just going to use move it, and we're just going to oh, come on, there we go. We're going to slightly move it over just to make it seem like there's a bit of a walking path behind there. Perfect. So this should really add to the look of the area. And then also, while I was kind of moving things around, there was a bunch of flooding happening. So I am going to add one of these in, and hopefully it fits. It does. Perfect. Okay. And this should kind of help out the area. So what do I need to do? I need to connect it with the water pump. There we go. So we're just going to connect it up right there. Perfect. And that should be operational. And that's fantastic. So now if there's any flooding in this area, which there often is, that shouldn't become an issue. Oh, is this guy going to get that? Ah, darn. That's okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in these items here in warehouses so that the shipyard can constantly be working. So that's what we're going to start with, or do next, I guess. All right, so I needed 4 things. So let's try to figure out a way to get 4 warehouses in here. And it'd be best if they could all be before right here. So I think I can probably squeeze this one in, or a warehouse in right here. Whoa. That's a lot of post. Holy cow. This is going to be a heavy traffic area. All right, well, let's do this. So we're gonna plop one right down right there, and then we're gonna use the move it mod, and we're just going to do that. And actually, we're just gonna move it over to this side right here, And then we're just going to raise it up so it doesn't look like it's clipping as much. And yeah, perfect. Okay, so now this warehouse should technically be operational. And we're going to start with plain timber. Perfect. So now it's going to take some timber from all the way over here. And it's going to bring it all the way down here and into this area. So this is probably going to get trucked in. Maybe we can look at getting, oh my gosh, look at more post. Holy cow. Maybe we can look at getting a rail station out over here or something. So that, because I'm not sure if this would technically count as like a rail station, so like we can't really truck in a plain timber and then use this as like the station. So maybe we can try to figure out a way to squeeze in a train station in here. But I don't know. Maybe we'll look at that in the future. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in a few more. So plastics, glass, and metals. All right. So let's try to get one in right here. That looks good. And we're going to use the move it mod, and we're just going to adjust it slightly. Perfect. All right, so I don't want any cars driving in between here because I don't want it to be used as a shortcut on this one way. So I'm just going to use it instead as a path. So now people can use it to walk between, if they couldn't already. All right. So that's 2, and this one was plastics. Perfect. And then we need 2 more, and I think we're going to use these ones for it, if they fit. Yeah, they do. Perfect. Okay. Oh. Just going to move this one over. Looks like it's clipping a bit, so we're just going to do... Oh, okay. Well, let's try to just move them together then. Like so. Alright, so glass and metal. Alright, so now this area should be operational. So we went out to go get the stuff, so it's going to be a while before stuff gets here for the ship. But once we get the ship, then it's gonna make us a lot of money. Oh, it looks like it's getting some deliveries. There we go. Yeah, look how much money it makes us. That's really good. All right, so that's gonna take some time to level up, and then what else can we add in here to make it look a bit more like a port? So I was thinking, for one, we're going to need a unique factory products area. So factory products are going to make their unique goods, and they need to be there needs to be an area to store them. So that fits perfectly there, and that's where we're going to add that. So unique factory products. So they're going to get shipped here to the shipyard to get shipped out to the rest of the world. All right, so we're going to add in a few more, and I was hoping these were going to fit here. It doesn't look like they're going to, so that's okay. We're going to get... Holy cow, it's huge. Let's get... No, there we go. A couple of these ones, and we're just going to make it have like a different little pattern here. And these two are going to be commercial zone goods. There we go. And I was trying to think about some other things that could kind of go out this way, and I didn't really think of any. I couldn't really think of anything in particular. So if you have any suggestions down below, or let me know down below in the comments. I was thinking maybe we could get like a little plaza in or something. Kind of might add a bit to the area, so the workers have some place to to go. But yeah, I wasn't really sure what else we could. So I'm just gonna take a quick peek around. Oh, you know what we could definitely use? Where is it? I think it's in this area. Yeah, the road maintenance depot. Let's do that. And we're just gonna use the move it mod, and we're just going to adjust it slightly. Yeah, that looks great. Fantastic. So that's going to kind of be like, it kind of looks like the office building for the port. And then we're also going to zone in a few offices as well. So I think this is probably the best spot for them, right in this corner here. Hopefully they grow in, but not too tall. And yeah, all right. So are these getting some stuff? Yeah, they are. Okay, that's good to know. But I was going to try to consider building this train station out this way. So it's fairly large. We could probably get it in. So let's start with doing the road first. So this is probably going to need to be on freeform here as we go along the railroad here. We're going to curve up. And you know what? I'm just going to instead, oh, come on, draw in a road just like that. We're going to use move it. And we're just going to adjust it so it's right up against the highway here. And then we're also, oh, that's elevated. Yeah, let's try to do this. I think we can get this to fit. So we're just going to pause the game, and I'm just going to delete these sections of track and take it back quite a distance. And then we're going to get that rail station in. So we're just going to do it right about there. And then we're just going to use move it to get the angle a bit right. And then we're going to get it to that height. Oh, come on. What the heck is happening? All right, so we're just going to select, oh, come on, there we go. We're going to select everything. What? Come on. There we go. And we're going to get it to this height. All right, perfect. Maybe not. So this, ah, oh, darn, undo. Okay. We're going to lower this highway, and I'm just going to kind of make it look a bit nicer. So it's not clipping, you know? There we go. And we're going to have to lower this one then too. And we're going to have to lower the other ones as well, just to make it a bit of a better slope. Yeah, it's not too bad. All right. And then we're going to next have to smooth out the area because it looks horrible. All right. So this is definitely gonna have to start leveling out a bit, especially if we're getting a train track through here. All right. Next step we're going to do is we're going to take these and we're just going to swing it out a bit. Oh, come on, there we go. And we're going to keep it at that height. Perfect. And we're just going to move this rock. All right, so I think we can get the rail through here. So let's do that first. All right, there'll have to be some height adjustment next, but that's fine. All right, and then we're just going to curve in like that. Perfect. And then this is going to curve in as well. And then now we can adjust the height. Perfect. Alrighty. And then next step, we're going to take this and we're going to connect it into our little area here. Oh, I don't like that. Should have checked first. Elevated. And we're gonna get down to the ground. I think what we're going to do is kind of do this. All right, and then we're going to have to upgrade some of this to ground level. I think to about there is probably fine. You know what? Let's just get it to ground level to here. We'll smooth it all out, make it look a bit nicer, and then we're going to need to do an adjustment here. And it's not the smoothest looking cargo rail track, but it's going to work for our needs, and that's what matters. All right, so then we're going to connect this up, just like so. Make sure that they're both attached on the rails. They are. So I'm just going to use a bit of an adjustment here to make it look a bit nicer. There we go. All right, so now we have an operational train station here, so it should be able to ship cargo in from the outside area that's not going directly to the port. So with that, that's going to help out our factory out here. Alrighty, I'm just going to adjust these roads a bit. Bit of a steep curve there, but that's fine, or a sharp curve. All right, that looks good. And then we can get this road to continue out this way in case we choose that we want to have some more things out this way at a later date. Let's just raise up the terrain a bit, or the road. There we go. And we're just going to do a slight adjustment. Perfect. All right, so now we're just going to smooth out the area here. Make it seem a bit nicer and less crazy. All right, so we're just going to choose a bit of an area here. We're just going to level it out, and then we're going to smooth it. Oh, no. There we go. Oh, darn. I just don't want that area to kind of square off. So now let's turn this down. We'll turn the strength down. All right, we'll resume the game and we should be good to go. Yeah, it's not too bad. The transition is pretty good too, from elevated rail to non-elevated rail. And yeah, you know what, I like this. This is going to turn out pretty nicely. I'm just going to adjust this a bit, just get it away from the rail line a bit. All right, and then I'm also just going to touch this one up slightly. It's a bit more of an incline. All right, looks nice. The port area is definitely coming along. And yeah, all right, so what else can we add into this area? We'll look into some of these and see if there's anything that sticks out right away. Otherwise, we will move on to the next thing. A little bonus for the next episode. Or a sneak peek, I guess. Could get the transport tower out this way, but that's pretty large, and I'm not sure if that's exactly thematic to what we're kind of going for. And yeah, I don't have everything unlocked because this is the first playthrough that I'm doing on the PC, so a lot of things aren't unlocked yet, but we will definitely look at unlocking them in later videos. Oh, we can get the Statue of Colossus. Get that right here. Maybe we'll look at doing that at a later date. I wonder if there's anything in these that can go out this way. Like the department store. Oh, yeah, it's too big. We could get some of these maybe. They look pretty cool. But I guess not. Alright, so let me know if you have any suggestions on anything I should add to the port. Otherwise, we're probably just going to fill it in with some more warehouses and factories at a later date. Or not factories, like zoning. That's the word I'm looking for. So it looks like these guys are just taking stuff right in from here into the port. That's interesting. One thing before we move on to the next thing that we're going to do today, I'm going to look at the roads really quickly. So, with this in play now, with something out this way, I'm going to need to look at the lanes again. So, I think we're going to upgrade this one to an asymmetrical, and that should be fine altogether. I don't see many cars turning anyways. But for the police and stuff, I see a lot of cars use this as like a turnaround. So if there's police or fire, they need to go out in both directions, and they need dedicated turning lanes. This only needs one lane because this is a one-way. But this probably needs 2 lanes right here. Because now that we have post, we've been noticing that a lot of post trucks get stuff here, so in case they need to go to this post sorting facility while a bunch of other trucks are coming out this way, it might get a little messy. But did the office zone? Yeah, they did zone in. Okay, yeah, that's a good size building. Now we did have that garbage issue. It seems to be solved. That's good. Should we get like a healthcare office out this way? Probably. So let's try to find a small spot for the healthcare, and I'm also going to add in death care as well, just in case. Yeah, let's just, I mean, it's not exactly the best spot for, that works. Okay, it's clipping a bit, but that's fine. Let's just use the movement mod, and we will adjust that. You know, it kind of looks cool. Looks fitting, I guess. And then we're going to add a crematorium in here because why not? And if we need death care out this way, then it's going to struggle to get out here. So let's put it in right here, and we'll use the movement mod. Whoa. To just adjust it like that. All right. So that should help fill in the area as well. And I'm glad that the trains are still working. All right, so we have some residential demand, and that is what we're going to look at in this episode. Oh, what was that little sign? Oh, the zoo restrooms are on fire. That's fine. So I'm a little disappointed that this hasn't leveled up yet, but I think it will level up as we get more residential. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to look at adding in some, you know what, I actually thought the port was going to take up more time. So let's look at a place to, yeah, we could definitely continue at the suburbs a bit. So I think this is Elgin, and we can get some residential suburban neighborhoods up here. So let's start by smoothing out that area. turn up the brush size and the strength. And we're just going to help ourselves out a bit by doing this. But this is a nice spot, I think, for a bit of a suburban expansion. Yeah, alright, so I'm not sure if we're going to get too much in today, but it will definitely, we'll definitely at least get some of the roads in. So let's start with this, and we're just going to come right off of this. I know I don't usually like doing these, these four-way intersections, but in the suburbs, they're fine. Let's try doing this with the terrain on. Yeah, okay, so let's try to just follow a bit of the terrain line. Yeah, that works. And I'm not sure we're actually going to really come out this way, but let's see what that kind of gives us. Yeah, no, that's okay. We will take out that road to about there. All right. So now that we're up there, oh, terrain. Nope, come on. Terrain, there we go. From about here, we're gonna curve this way. We're gonna go behind these houses here. And we're gonna go to about there. All right, and then this, we're going to bring up like that. Pretty steep, but that's fine. Oops, I didn't mean to exit out of that. And now we need to go back to the train. Perfect, okay. From about here, we're gonna take another road out. All right, and then this is going to connect up right about there. And then we're gonna continue this out slightly like that for now. All right. And then where else could we get a road following the terrain? You know what? I think we're probably good. Yeah, let's just get in right in there, and then we can turn the train off. Okay, so now we can just kind of fill in this area with our suburban sprawl kind of look. So a bit messy. Not really caring for like making the perfect squares, but maximizing the space. So let's get a little cul-de-sac there. Let's get another one there. There. The freeformed road tool is the best for when you're building suburbia, because it allows you to really make nice curves on the roads. All right, so this is gonna be a park because that's a pretty cool mountain. And then this should work. Let's get a four-way in right there. All right, and then this is a fairly steep elevation, so let's just be a little bit more cautious with our roads. That works. All right. Adding a bit more four ways in than I normally do. That's fine. Let's get a nice little cul-de-sac in there. All right, this is coming along pretty nicely. Alright, so I'm going to put the train lines back on because I want to connect this up over here to this neighborhood. Yeah, that works. It's a bit steep, but what can you do? That's fine. And then we're gonna just bring up a road connection there. I was a little bit worried because there's only 2 ways into this neighborhood, so I just wanted to fill in that space a bit. And we'll connect it up right there. All right. So now we're just going to take the smoothing tool out again, and we're just going to go over top of these lines. And what this is going to do is it's going to, all these sharp edges that we made, it's going to really help smooth them out, and it's going to make it a bit easier for houses to grow on, or at least, well, technically the game doesn't really affect that, but it's going to make it look a bit nicer. All right, so we're going to zone in a bit of a park right here. Perfect, and this is going to be called Elgin Mountain. So we'll get that park in probably next episode or as we see fit. So this is Elgin. Okay, so let us do this, and it's going to go right up to there. And Elgin's a fairly large neighborhood. Yeah, all right. So we're probably gonna have to add in a bunch of schools and stuff, but for now we're just going to zone in a bit of it because that's where we're going to leave off today's episode. Okay, we're gonna zone in some houses there, and we'll continue up this whole block. All right, so as that kind of grows in, we will come back to it and keep adding some stuff in as the demand requires. So that's where we're going to leave off today's episode. So we did a lot today. We added a whole other suburban neighborhood to Elgin, and we built this port, or we expanded the port a bit. Not expanded, we added stuff to the port. So port episode part 2, that's it. All right, peace out everyone.